Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Coffee with Eddie. My name's Eddie Campos with Eddie's home team of RE/MAX Preferred Associates. Let's go inside and see who today's guest is. Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to Coffee with Eddie. We are still here with Rachel Hepner-Zawadny of the American Red Cross, and this episode I wanted to talk to you about what the American Red Cross is doing in the world, not necessarily just the United States. And it's not the American Red Cross when it goes across the world.
Right.
It's the International
Red Cross, Red Crescent.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what I wanted to speak to you today is specifically in regards to Ukraine and their involvement there. So in a press release, it says, as a conflict in the Ukraine continues to rage, the Red Cross is committed to providing life-saving aid to those in need, distributing more than 2 tons of emergency aid, including food, bedding, tents, water, hygiene items to more than 400,000 people across Ukraine, supporting the evacuation of 79,000 people, provide first aid training to more than 46,000 people. I mean, I could keep reading and reading. This seems like an awesome task to be involved in and talk about going into the eye of the storm. Where does the Red Cross begin when it comes to things like this? I mean, I think we all kind of saw the escalation, you know, the rumbling of when and how it was going to happen. Is the Red Cross just like on high alert because they know this is a possibility?
100%. You know, and that's that preparedness piece, the mobilization piece that we're really, really good at. And, you know, the Red Cross was founded on the battlefield. You know, and one of our fundamental principles is neutrality and impartiality. So we are humanitarians, and we will provide humanitarian aid. It doesn't matter who you are, and helping them by making sure that, you know, they're fed, and, you know, first aid is administered, and they have somewhere to congregate with their families. It is a giant effort. It's a little bit different than what we do for large responses domestically, but that mobilization piece is what's key, making sure that we have the correct volunteers on standby. International volunteers are highly, highly trained. And we sent some from the U.S. I don't know exactly how many. It's a much, much higher level type of deployment.
A lot more complex.
It's extremely complex. But still, you know, what we're able to do and what we're able to mobilize from domestically with the International Red Cross and the International Red Crescent societies, we're still providing the same type of comfort that we provide here.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to being able to provide supplies, whether it's hygiene items or blankets or tents, so I'm just imagining that there has to be warehousing facilities on standby. A lot of these products, are they donated? Are they paid for by the donations of people to the Red Cross? How does all of that start? How does that come into play?
For international responses like this, I mean, a lot of that stuff is going to be sourced overseas. You know, it's logistically, it makes more sense. When we're dealing with a large response here domestically, we are dependent on the generosity of donors in order for us to meet mission. We're not federally funded, and I think a lot of people assume that we are, and we're not, but we're congressionally mandated to respond. So in a lot of these warehouses, and certainly we are very intentional as an organization where our warehouses are, especially here. You know, I can't speak for what's happening, you know, overseas because it's a whole different culture. But, you know, here, when we mobilize, you look at kind of those areas of the country where historically your responses are more consistent than we would have here, is that we do have those warehouses that have the cots, they have the blankets, they have, you know, the water and whatever supplies that we need, the cleanup kits, strategically, you know, placed. So when we are starting to mobilize our volunteers, then a lot of those logistics happen ahead of time. It's a very large operation.
So I imagine having volunteers that speak multiple languages is probably a plus or a bonus.
It's definitely
for
a
you
bonus.
Guys.
Yep.
So I'm thinking about the awesome task of just that. But at the same time, there are still fires happening in Toledo. There's a hurricane that could be hitting Puerto Rico. And just the magnitude of where you have to be at the same time, servicing multiple disasters, is just quite overwhelming. Just to sit here and think about where you guys are put into place, and you're put into harm's way in many instances, like in Ukraine. And it's amazing that you guys are there. So hats off to everyone that volunteers. It's an awesome, awesome task.
And it's a very short turnaround. Like when you commit to a deployment, you leave that day or the next day.
That's amazing.
And it's a very, you really need to dig deep and find out if that's your time. You have the ability to say, no, it's not the right deployment for me. It's not a good time, because they want you to be all in.
Right.
You don't want to have to worry about dad who's in the hospital or your husband getting your
Right.
kids to practices. You want to
Right.
make sure that you are all in.
Right.
Because it's not just the Red Cross there. You're coordinating with Team Rubicon and FEMA, Southern Baptist. I mean, the Southern Baptist kitchens that are feeding 30,000 people 3 meals a day. It's a sight to see. And I'll tell you, it brings your confidence back in humanity when you see these operations.
You know, there's thousands of charities that need everyone's support, and they're all important in their way. But man, if there is just one charity that really needs to have the assistance of people from a volunteer standpoint or their financial contributions, boy, Red Cross is really it, because you're there for everyone, and you don't ever know if you're going to be the next
Right.
recipient
I
of
always
the
say that.
benefits of the Red Cross.
We need their blood too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Well, thank you again for your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Coffee with Eddie, and we'll see you next week. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Coffee with Eddie. We're here to talk to my friend Tiffany over at the Appliance Center. And Tiffany, you've got a great special going on with the Crosley Conservador. What's happening here?
Yes, so this is an entry-level Whirlpool. It is actually made here in Ohio, in Clyde. The set is under $1,000. It does come with a 1-year warranty, or you can purchase an extended 5-year warranty for each piece for $149.
Okay. Or if you're someone who just bought your first home, you're looking
And
to
you're
fill it
looking
up,
for
you need
something
a
to
washer and
start out.
dryer, this is a great place to start.
Absolutely, yes.
That's awesome. So if someone needed to have service done, you guys also service as well,
We
correct?
do. We have our service department. We do service all the products that we do sell.
So great product, available right away, can be delivered. You guys can service in-house, made in Ohio, fantastic price.
Yes.
Come and
very,
see.
very affordable option.
Very affordable
Yes,
option.
Yes.
Come and see Tiffany. So if you're looking for a new washer and dryer, this is the place to be. Appliance Center on Illinois Avenue in Maumee, or you can find them in Sylvania on Monroe Street. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next month.